So we're just wrapping down here at the Toronto Garlic Festival. I've got the pleasure of talking to Mark, who's the president of the Garlic Growers Association of Ontario. Now Mark, help me understand this. I was told here that garlic is the best in the world right here in Ontario. Grown right here. Why is that?
That's because the garlic that we grow here in Ontario is the freshest garlic in the world. All of us who are here as growers and vendors, we grow all across Ontario. Music, which is the main variety that we grow in Ontario, so this is some beautiful music hardneck garlic that I've got here. This was harvested back in July, so typically in Ontario we plant the crop in October, which is right now, and then we do our harvest in Ontario through the month of July. So we'll start way down in the Leamington area harvesting at the beginning of July, and then where I am in Elgin County and along the shore of Lake Erie and through into eastern Ontario, typically we'll harvest the latter part of July and early August. So the garlic that we grow is very, very fresh. Unlike the garlic that you'll find in the grocery store from China, which is probably 6 or 8 months old before it even gets here. Wow. I always joke with my customers, if you want to tell how old garlic is,
yes,
take a bulb, give it a good squeeze, and then toss it up in the air. So the heavier garlic is, the fresher it is.
Really?
So if you have time to toss it up in the air, go get a coffee, watch the news, check the weather, have a nap, and come back,
and your Facebook.
It hasn't come down, that's probably Chinese garlic, and it was probably dug sometime a year ago.
Wow, I never knew that.
And garlic, of course, is comprised of many, many tiny little layers. So like anything, it will dry out over time. But normally, we can store our garlic through the winter. The best way to store garlic is out of direct sunlight, so store it in the dark in some place that is really a constant temperature. People always ask me, well, should I put it in the fridge? Well, that's not the best thing because everyone's fridges are at different temperature. So if it's very, very cold and then you take it out to room temperature, it thinks, spring's here, I want to grow, and it's going to want to sprout.
I never knew that.
And you will often see garlic that's been stored for quite a while, it gets lighter and lighter, or if it's had a real sudden change in temperature, then it wants to sprout and start growing because that's what it wants to do.
So what other tidbits you got in terms of either preserving the garlic or using the garlic?
Well, garlic, just for people who don't know, there's two fundamental types of garlic.
Okay.
Hardneck garlic and softneck garlic. Hardneck is what we grow in the northern climates, and it typically, a typical bulb will have 5 to 7 cloves in a bulb, and it'll have one ring. As well, when you grow hardneck garlic, the crop is normally about 2.5 foot tall in the middle of June, and it puts out what's called a scape. So it's a shoot that comes up, curls around, and has a seed pod on the end. Well, we have to break those off, and then when we break them off, 30 days later, we're ready to harvest. So by breaking that off, and you can use that scape, you can put it in a salad, soup, stir-fry. It gives a little bit of garlic flavor to whatever you cook with, and they keep in the fridge for quite a while. But by removing that scape, that puts the growth into that bulb, so that gives you a bigger bulb. But if you leave the bulb in the ground too long, that's another mistake home gardeners often make. If you leave it in the ground too long after that 30 days, it starts to first open up, so a little bit like this has, and then it'll start to discolor, and then if you leave it too long, it'll start to grow again because it says, you're going to ignore me, so I'm going to start growing. So you can leave it in the ground and it will grow again next year, but it won't be a very big bulb. So you want to make sure if you want to use your own and replant it, when it's time, dig it up, break the bulb apart, and then replant the cloves, usually in October. That's the best time of year to plant.
Okay. First of all, what's the most popular variety of garlic in Ontario?
The variety called Music, that's M-U-S-I-C. It's named after Al Music.
Now there's different strains of that I hear, correct?
Well, there are many different strains of garlic, but probably 80% of the garlic we grow in Ontario is Music.
Okay.
It's a variety that was bred for our conditions here. It's very dependable and always gives you a really nice looking bulb, and it also stores well. But it takes our different weather very well.
Okay. Now, what are some of the different parts of the entire garlic that are used? So let's inform people what you can actually do with garlic and like I said, the different parts of it.
Well, start with a bulb, of course. That's what you can either plant the next crop with or use to cook with. You can take the scape. So the scape, that's that shoot that comes out in June.
Yep.
That you can actually eat, as I said, chop it up or whatever. It'll give a little garlic flavor. And then at the end, if you leave that plant and let that seed pod come to completion, you have what are called bulbules. So they're small seeds. You can actually eat those bulbules, which will give a little garlic flavor, or you can plant them, but it will take you 2 years extra to have a marketable crop if you try to grow it from the actual bulbule seed.
Okay.
So those are the main things. You can take garlic, you can take scapes, you can pickle them. You can take the garlic cloves, of course. You can dry them and then grind them up into powder. You can put them into pickled garlic. So there's many different garlic products. The stem itself, of course, is ornamental. So I'll just quickly grab a garlic braid. So we've done some up here in braids. So this is a great way, actually it's a great way to gift garlic to friends, people who love garlic.
Those are your true friends, right?
Yeah, those are your true friends. Give you garlic.
You know, it's nothing personal. We just.
And again, you can take something like this and hang it up. Some people, what they'll do is when they need a bulb, they'll just go with the scissors and cut one off. I'm sure if you walk into many Italian households, a garlic braid hanging on the wall is something that is treasured by many.
Yes.
Anyhow, makes a great gift.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about farming. What are some of the challenges, say, for me, if I were to start tomorrow to start a garlic farm? Is it that easy?
Well, one of the tough parts is you've got to have some good, well-drained land. Garlic will grow on pretty well any soil type, but you want to make sure that your land's not going to be underwater in the wintertime, but you also want to make sure that in the summer, if it gets dry, that you have a way to put some supplementary water to the crop. As with any kind of farming, if the crop grows good, so do the weeds. So you're going to spend a lot of time dealing with that. Land, of course, has gotten expensive, but one of the key things to starting farming garlic is make sure you've got a market first. Garlic festivals are a great way to sell garlic. We do the local farmers markets in Elmer and St. Thomas. We do all the garlic festivals in Ontario, so they start early in August. So we have the Perth Garlic Festival, the Newmarket Garlic Festival, Niagara, Stratford, one here in Toronto. So it's a great chance to meet people who grow garlic, try some of the different varieties, and try all the different things that are made. So there was garlic ice cream here today. I believe there was garlic honey. There's a garlic maple syrup wine, garlic and lots of food products. So it's a great chance
truffles,
to come and try
garlic
something.
and truffles.
Garlic truffles,
wow.
That's right. I didn't try those.
You probably will right after this interview. They're probably going to be sold out. He told me he's almost down to his last one there. So now, let's talk about some of the medicinal aspects of garlic. You want to expound on that?
Well,
it's called Russian penicillin according to the Russians, right?
Yeah, and actually the allicin, so the sulfur compounds in garlic are what are really great health products.
Okay.
And of course, if you notice, a lot of horse medicine has garlic in it. So there are some growers who actually dehydrate garlic, make it into powder, and then use it in horse medicine. So the horse industry has long known that garlic is kind of good for you. But anyhow, it's a great product. It's great in foods.
Okay. And you can't OD in it, can you?
I don't think so. And again, if everybody has a little garlic, then we'll all have the same aroma.
Excellent. Well, this is all music to my ears, pun intended. For more information, Mark, your website would be?
The Garlic Growers website is www.garlicgrowers.on.ca. And my farm website, so we have a large pick-your-own operation, so we have all different kinds of sweet peppers, different kinds of hot peppers. We have garlic, we have eggplant, we have onions, tomatoes, strawberries in season. So my website is www.markwalesfarmfreshproduce.ca, and we're located about 10 miles south of Elmer, right on the highway that runs from the 401 down to the beach.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Mark.